There are days when nothing truly terrible happens, yet your heart still feels heavy. One unanswered message is enough to stay in your mind for hours. One careless comment can suddenly ruin your mood. But the truth is, what exhausts you is often not the event itself. It is the way your mind magnifies it and pulls you into endless emotional reactions. This video is not about forcing yourself to stay positive or pretending to be strong. The goal is much simpler and deeper than that, to help you return to a calmer, clearer, and steadier state from within. So, even when the world around you feels noisy, you can still keep your own inner rhythm. The first step to rewiring your mind is facing one uncomfortable truth. Most of your pain does not come from the situation itself, but from the meaning your mind attaches to it. The mind is incredibly skilled at exaggerating problems, creating worst-case scenarios, and convincing you that everything is about to fall apart. And once you believe those thoughts, you react too quickly, lose your calm, and slowly exhaust yourself from the inside out. Positive thinking is not about ignoring reality or pretending to be strong. It is about choosing to direct your energy toward what builds you instead of what destroys you. The moment you begin seeing challenges as opportunities for faith to guide you, believing there is always a path forward, even when you cannot see it, yet something changes inside you. Your heart becomes lighter, your mind becomes clearer, and solutions begin showing up where fear once took over. Because whatever you consistently feed your mind today will eventually shape the life you live tomorrow. Now comes the most important shift of all. Believing in yourself is not empty self-praise. It is recognizing and respecting the strength and ability you were given. Real self-belief is not about flattering yourself to feel better. It is about understanding that you truly have the capacity to get back up and keep moving forward. The problem is that for years, many people have repeated thoughts that make them smaller. I'm not good enough. I can't do it. It's too late for me. Those phrases may sound harmless, but repeated often enough, they program failure into the subconscious mind. So the next step is simple but powerful. Change your inner language. Whenever a negative thought appears, do not waste energy fighting it. Replace it with a stronger thought. Instead, I can learn. I will find a way. I am being guided. Repeat those thoughts consistently every day until they become your new mental habit. Healthy confidence does not make you arrogant, it makes you calm. And calm people are far stronger than anxious ones. A peaceful mind is the foundation of real strength. When your mind is like a stormy river, everything becomes distorted. One careless comment feels like an attack, and one moment of silence feels like rejection. Anxiety does not prepare you for the future. It only drains the energy you need in the present. That is why what you truly need is not to try harder to be strong, but to learn how to return to stillness. Create a few quiet moments every day. Turn off your phone. Breathe slowly. Sit in silence, and let your thoughts settle. You can also add a simple prayer like, I place this in your hands. Please guide me. The moment you loosen your grip on control, your mind becomes clearer. Your reactions slow down. And strangely enough, solutions begin to appear where panic once lived. Peace does not mean life suddenly has no problems. Peace means standing in the middle of those problems without letting them break you. Lasting energy does not come only from sleep, food, or exercise. It comes from alignment between your body, mind, and spirit. You can do everything right on the outside and still feel exhausted if internally you are constantly tense, fighting yourself, or carrying emotional weight you were never meant to hold. Fear, frustration, resentment, and the endless need to please everyone are all hidden leaks that slowly drain your energy every single day. So if you want to become stronger, you must learn how to gather your energy instead of scattering it. Start each morning by choosing one truly important thing to focus on, and let go of unnecessary noise. Slowly release the heavy emotions that weigh you down: anger, regret, comparison, and self-judgment. Then recharge yourself with simple but powerful habits: slow breathing, time outside, light walks, real rest, and moments of stillness. When you live with purpose and learn to let go in the right places, your energy begins returning naturally, steady, deep, and far more sustainable. Prayer is not something meant only for moments of desperation. It is a way of bringing your mind back into alignment. When you pray, you shift from anxiety to trust, from trying to control everything to knowing what to release. The problem may not disappear immediately, but you begin to panic less, think more clearly, and recognize the next step more calmly. You can start very simply each day. Say one short prayer like, "I will do my part. Please guide the rest." Then take a few quiet seconds to practice gratitude and let your nervous system slow down. When you do this consistently, you begin to feel steadier, not because life suddenly becomes easy, but because you no longer believe you have to carry everything alone. Happiness is not something that appears only after life finally becomes perfect. It is something you build every day through small habits and small choices. Instead of focusing on what is missing, practice noticing what is already present in your life. Each morning, quickly write down 3 things you are grateful for, even very small ones. When you do this consistently, your mind slowly stops obsessing over comparison and lack, and you naturally begin feeling lighter. Happiness also grows through meaningful action, finishing something you have been avoiding, speaking kindly to someone, helping another person in a small way. It does not need to be dramatic or impressive. It only needs to be consistent, because the more consistently you create small moments of peace and meaning, the more grounded and emotionally strong you become over time. There are times when you are not exhausted because life is difficult. You are exhausted because restlessness and irritation keep pulling your mind in every direction all day long. Irritation and impatience make you react faster than you can think. Small situations suddenly feel huge, and you end up burning through your own energy for no real reason. At the root of it is usually urgency, wanting everything to happen your way, at your timing, on your schedule. The way out is to train yourself to create a pause. The moment you feel frustration rising, stop for a few seconds. Breathe slowly and ask yourself, is this really worth losing my peace over? Then shift your attention toward one small action that is actually within your control, and practice releasing the rest. Peace does not make you passive or weak. It makes you more clear-minded, and clarity is what allows real strength to appear. Expecting good things is not about fooling yourself into believing life will always be perfect. It is about choosing to live from a place of cooperation instead of constant defense. When you constantly think, "This will probably go badly," you automatically shrink yourself. You hesitate, avoid risks, and stop taking meaningful steps forward. But when you calmly believe, "There will be a way," your perspective changes. You begin noticing opportunities more easily, and your actions become steadier and more confident. Start with small shifts. Replace. This won't work with. Let me try another approach. Replace. Today is going to be exhausting with. Today I can still do one thing right. Repeated consistently. Those thoughts slowly become accepted by your subconscious mind. And once your mind begins believing differently, your behavior naturally changes too. And when your actions change, your results begin changing along with them. Failure is only an event, not a label you should attach to yourself. The biggest danger is not falling down. The real danger is believing that falling means it's over. The moment you start telling yourself, maybe I'm not meant for this, I'm not good enough, I've run out of chances, you close doors before you even give yourself the opportunity to find another path. So change the way you look at setbacks. Instead of asking, why is this happening to me? Ask, what can I learn from this? And what is the next small step forward? Even one small step each day is enough to keep your momentum alive and prevent you from giving up on yourself. Faith does not promise that you will never stumble again. It simply reminds you that every time you fall, you still have the ability to rise, learn, and continue forward with more wisdom and strength than before. You think you are thinking ahead to prepare, but most of the time you are simply worrying in a way that slowly exhausts and punishes yourself. Worry is like sitting in a rocking chair. There is constant movement, but you are not actually getting anywhere. To break that cycle, pause and ask yourself, am I solving the problem? Or am I just going in circles? If there is no clear action attached to your thinking, then it is probably just mental spiraling. Stop for a few seconds. Breathe slowly. Write down one simple sentence. What is the real problem? Then list 3 small actions that are actually within your control. And immediately begin with the smallest one. For the part that is outside your control, practice releasing it instead of carrying it endlessly. The moment you shift from worrying to acting, your brain becomes calmer and clearer, and every time you repeat that process, you teach yourself an important truth. Peace does not come from overthinking. Peace comes from taking steady action in the right direction. You are not lacking ability. You are simply lacking a way to handle problems without letting your mind spiral out of control. When difficulties appear, do not rush into panic. The first step is bringing yourself back into a clear state of mind. Pause. Breathe slowly. And ask yourself, am I worrying, or am I actually doing something? Then write down one simple sentence. What is the real problem? After that, list 3 small actions that are actually within your control. And begin with the smallest one, immediately, the part that belongs to you, your actions, attitude, and choices. Handle it with care and responsibility. The part outside your control, other people, outcomes, or timing, learn to release it instead of carrying it endlessly. The clearer your mind becomes, the less exhausted you feel, and the less exhausted you feel, the easier it becomes to see the next right direction. Healing is not only about making the pain disappear. Real healing is about bringing yourself back to a state of wholeness. When you live in fear and constant tension, your body tightens, your mind becomes more chaotic, and naturally your recovery slows down. That is why healing should begin with the way you speak to yourself. Use words that are gentle but steady. I am healing. Every day I am getting a little better. Then slowly release the emotional weight that keeps your heart heavy. Anger, regret, self-blame, and resentment, and create a simple rhythm of recovery in your daily life: deep breathing, proper sleep, healthy meals, light walks, time in nature, and short moments of prayer. Healing is not a single moment. It is the quiet process of caring for yourself with faith, one day at a time. If you constantly feel drained, there is a good chance you are not lacking sleep. You are lacking the right way to recharge yourself. Whenever your energy drops, remember these 3 words: release, forgive, enjoy. Release means letting tension leave your body. Breathe slowly. Relax your shoulders. Take a short walk. And give your nervous system a chance to calm down. Forgive means releasing emotional weight, resentment, anger, self-blame, and frustration. Those emotions drain your energy faster than hard work ever will. And enjoy means rebuilding steady joy, gratitude, meaningful work, small acts of value, and moments that make your spirit feel alive again. This kind of joy is different from temporary excitement. It does not burn bright and disappear quickly. It restores you from the inside out. And here is one more free way to recharge. Go outside. Look at the trees. Watch the clouds. Slow your pace down for a moment. Nature never rushes. Yet everything continues, growing exactly as it should. You are allowed to live that way too. When you begin living at the right rhythm, your energy returns more steadily, more deeply, and far more sustainably. You do not need to change your entire life overnight. You only need to change one pattern of thinking and keep it long enough for it to reshape you. Every result you have today is connected to the thoughts you repeat in your mind each day. If you constantly tell yourself, "I'm not enough. I'll do it tomorrow. There's no point anyway," your subconscious will eventually believe those thoughts and guide your life in that direction. The simplest way to break that cycle is to consciously refill your mind with something better. Choose carefully what you listen to, what you watch, and how you speak to yourself. You do not need dramatic slogans or fake motivation. You only need steady, grounded thoughts, like "I will find a way," "I am improving," "I am being guided." Repeat them consistently. And over time you will notice something surprising. Your actions begin changing naturally along with your mindset. Real strength does not come from trying to control everything. It comes from knowing when to relax and let go. When you stay tense all the time, your mind becomes narrow. You start seeing every problem as an enemy, every uncertainty as a threat. And you exhaust yourself before you even take action. But when you learn to relax, your nervous system calms down, your breathing deepens, and your perspective becomes clearer, like water settling enough for you to finally see the bottom. Relaxing is not the same as giving up. It is a conscious decision: I will do my part well, but I will stop carrying what is beyond my control. And the surprising thing is this: the moment you stop wasting energy on fear and constant reaction, you suddenly have more strength to act wisely and effectively. The best ideas rarely appear during panic. They appear when the mind is calm. Peace works the same way. It does not arrive when life becomes perfect. It arrives when you learn how to remain steady in the middle of uncertainty and chaos. In the end, the most important thing to remember is this: peace does not come from a life without problems. It comes from learning how to manage the world inside yourself. When you change the way you think, change the way you speak to yourself, and learn to slow down your reactions, you stop being controlled by every temporary emotion Difficulties will still come, but they will no longer consume you. Just focus on small daily shifts. Breathe a little deeper. Trust a little more. Practice a little more gratitude. And take one small step in the right direction. Over time, you will notice something powerful. You become steadier, calmer, and stronger without forcing it.